Hello, are you ready to hear about this research proposal that you need to write? Let's go ahead and take a look. So I am here in content in our English 121 course, and as always, assignment guidelines are located under assignment guidelines. Over here, you need to scroll past Essay 2 and all of the articles that you have been reading to the Research Proposal Guidelines link. Once you click on that, you'll see that it has, as always, context and overview. And we've just talked about in the last video that you watched how all of these pieces work together. The research proposal, the exploratory blog, and the annotated bibliography will all lead you to a final argumentative essay. So in this research proposal and in the exploratory blog, you're going to be listening to a variety of voices that are having a conversation about the issue that you choose to explore. In the argument essay, you will actually be arguing for one specific answer to your research question. So right now you really want to approach this with a sense of curiosity, of openness, and a willingness to listen. So the purpose for this particular assignment, for the research proposal, is to propose a research question about something that you actually have direct experience with and that you're also interested in. Your audience is educated, skeptical, and academic, but they also share your interest in this particular issue. So you need to present your ideas in a way that makes you credible to this audience. So what is a research question? And we're going to talk about that in some more depth in a different video and in our discussion board this week. But your research question, it says here, should be something you are genuinely curious about, and it should be related to something you have personal interest, experience, or connections to. So there are lots of interesting issues that we can debate and explore and have conversations about. For this particular assignment, it's really important that you have a personal connection to it. Let's see here, what else do we need to talk about? That question, your research question that you're going to propose in this assignment needs to be small enough that you can actually tackle it in a fairly short writing assignment. I know that when you get to the end of this and you're writing your big argument essay, it may not feel short, but you do want to think about scope. You only have a few weeks to really explore this topic, and you want to make sure that whatever you choose fits the scope of this. It also needs to be pretty specific, and you can see in these examples here how specific a research question can be, but you also need to have some room to explore. So let's look at the actual structure of this assignment. It is 4 to 6 paragraphs, so it is not terribly long. You should have one paragraph of introduction that actually talks about the issue you're going to explore and why you think people should care about it. You should also definitely, in that first paragraph, tell us what your research question is. So you're going to lead up to your research question just like you would lead up to a thesis statement in a traditional essay. After the introduction, you'll have some points of view paragraphs, 1 to 2, maybe 3 at the most. Is that going to add up to 4 to 6? You do the math there. For the points of view paragraph, you're actually going to do some brainstorming and think about all the different possible ways to answer the question that you have proposed in a rich and complex way. You have to do more than just include your perspective. You want to be thinking about all the sides of an issue, not just black and white, good and bad, yes and no, pro and con, but something much more complex than that. Then you want to move on to your current knowledge paragraph or paragraphs. And this is where you're going to tell us what you already know or what you think you know about these topics, because that can definitely change as you start doing research and learning more about this. And what do you think the answer might be to your question at this point? And you do not need to do any research to do this assignment. In fact, it's probably better if you don't do any at all. And then you'll end your essay with a paragraph that looks at what are you going to do next? What databases and websites do you think you're going to look for? What kind of information do you need? What's your specific research plan? And why does this issue need credible, thoughtful research? And that's how you will wrap up this particular assignment. So it needs to be at least 4 fully developed paragraphs and no more than 6. You don't need to do any research for this assignment until you get to the methodology section. And even then, you're not actually going to be digging into research. You're just going to be exploring the possibilities out there. You need to demonstrate academic awareness, as always, of issues like sentence structure, clarity, and editing. You've got lots of resources to help you with that. The grading rubric will be is already actually in the D2L Dropbox folder for this assignment if you go to Dropbox. and click on that folder for the research proposal. You'll be able to see the grading rubric, and the deadline is Monday, July 11th, just before midnight.